Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nicholas Repetto, composer for film, television, and the concert stage. I've been away for a while, but this is a new year, so I am returning with some new videos and some new content that will help all the composers who are interested in media or music for the concert stage. So be on the lookout for more of my videos coming to you this year. Today's video, I'd like to discuss how IMDb and IMDb Pro can help media composers in their career. Now, before we begin, let's define what IMDb and IMDb Pro are. So let's go to the internet. Okay, here we are on IMDb. The website is imdb.com, and IMDb just stands for Internet Movie Database. And this is a database that is populated by a staff. There's people that work at IMDb and also by users, so fans of movies and stuff like this. And, for instance, the top 10 movies IMDb this week. People go there for trailers and stuff like this. And it's a good way to know what's happening, especially if you work in media. And it has a lot of stuff that not only projects but also the people that work on those projects and the filmmakers and the producers and the editors and the writers and all the crew and stuff like this. So, for instance, if I search for King Kong, and this goes back to even like the 30s. So if I go to the King Kong that was made in 1933 with a wonderful score by Max Steiner, the great godfather of the golden age of film scoring. There's a great documentary about Max Steiner, by the way, on Max that everyone should check out, especially if you're a composer. Now, this page contains all the information of everyone who worked on the film. It's basically a database, right? We have Fay Wray here, Robert Armstrong, the director, Cooper, and then the writers, the stars, obviously, user ratings. There's also full cast and crew, you know, obviously the directors were uncredited. I think back then the studios just owned the picture and just claimed everything as them. Um, maybe they weren't also, or they weren't credited on the picture. That could be the other thing. But anyway, this is not a history lesson on that. This is just to see how we can find information on these filmmakers if you wanted to. Now, obviously, this is from years past. If we go to the newer King Kong, for instance, let's just stay on King Kong. And we wanted to find who worked on this King Kong from 2005, which is also a great movie. Lovely score by James Newton Howard. Um, and let's say we wanted to, I don't know, contact and get in touch with somebody because we like their work. We can go here on full cast and crew, and it gives you the breakdown of everybody who worked on the film. This is a huge film, so the crew is going to be all the way down here. So it's really it keeps going. Look at this. Well, I'll be here forever. So anyway, IMDb is the free version where you can find everybody who worked on the film. Now, let's say I wanted to get in touch with I don't know, like Peter Jackson, because he's gonna work on Lord of the Rings number 17, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'd like to, maybe contribute to that film and see what happens. So here's Peter Jackson's page. And, so it shows everything that he worked on, things that are upcoming. Oh, he's doing a Tintin sequel and untitled third Tintin film. Great. And we know that obviously Peter Jackson works with giant studio and in the studio system. So somebody of his stature, unless you have an agent and you're one of the top 10 composers who work out there, he is going to be out of reach in terms of how to reach him. And obviously, they don't publish his info here, just obviously general things he's worked on and stuff like this. Now that this is IMDb and it's just a basic version. It's just a written list of everything that he's done and what everyone has done. So if you want to get in touch with Peter Jackson, we can't do it directly through IMDb. We have to go to IMDb Pro. So let's, for instance, just check out the IMDb Pro page here. All right, so this is IMDb Pro. And the reason why it's called Pro is because you have to pay a membership fee of $149.99, or basically $150 a year, to have access to all the tools and stuff. So you have a home page, job section, people, and you can search, by the different roles everyone has: actors, actresses, directors, writers, producers, managers, titles. And this is the feature we're going to be using, as well as this one a little bit. Feature, these are the features we'll be using, especially the titles to find projects you want to pursue or browse. Companies, as you can see here, box office info is that if that's important to you. But since we work in composition, none of us, it might be important, but you know, we're gonna, and then obviously there's news, all the big industry papers there. Okay. And obviously top news here. And then there's search companies, do more with Pro. You can set up tracking. Obviously news, box office, industry lists, box office amounts and revenue, cast. You can see here who's attached to what. And usually this is measured by the star meter, like what's hot now. There's writers, casting directors, stuff like this. Um, and then obviously you have trending pre-release titles, so things that are in development, which might be of interest, because everyone uses this. Actors, composers, directors, producers, everyone likes to use IMDb Pro to search. That's kind of the industry standard. Things that are in production. They're making a 28 years later movie, which is pretty cool. I've heard a lot about Superman Legacy. So these are things that are forthwith. They'll be coming soon. Um, and then more resources here. Now, if we click on, let's say, we'll go to my page as an example. It shows the name of the person, their roles, everything they work, the star meter, which indicates, how hot your projects are. This thing goes up and down. Sometimes I think the highest I've been like has been like 100,000, and then next week it drops to like 1 million, and it goes up again. So, it's it's really interesting how the algorithm works. And, if your project is really up there, this will be up and will go up accordingly. So it fluctuates. And then you have the contact info on the left-hand side, direct contact, company, publicist, and then legal rep. And then, obviously if you have a talent agent, you would put talent agent here and stuff like this. So when you do your searches and you want to search for people, this is it'll appear like this on all their pages, which is pretty neat. It's all categorized that way. And then there's an overview. For instance, this is the stuff I worked on. And there's a full credits. You can go like this and go more into detail. And then there's an about section about the person there. Since I'm not an actor, I didn't fill out former details, although I've acted in a few things just for fun. You can add a section here with awards and stuff that you've done, training, although, filmmakers don't really care about all this stuff. This is just for, you know, to show what you've worked on. Uh, then you can add your additional information, websites. There's trivia. You can add little trivia things here to make your stuff interesting. There's also, you can add images, video, box office. This is for if you're a manager, your clients would be here, and then any news would appear there. So this is what IMDb looks like when you click on someone's page. So let's say we wanted to use IMDb to track a project and we want to work on something And, we have a few films under our belt and a few feature films, and we want to move up to more high profile things. And you don't have an agent, you could go under titles and you can search by movie meter, movies in development, movies in pre-production, movies in production, movies in post-production, released. We want to deal with things around these two here. So if you're looking for projects, you want to find them before they go into production. This is probably too late because if you go here, then they probably have found they found their composer or the director has worked with this composer before. They're usually attached already. And even if they're not attached, even if we go over here and we find that they're not attached, they probably have a composer in mind. So this is just a way to search for films that if you have time and you want to go to the next level, this is a good way to do it. So you would go here to this section. You can search by title, genre, movie meter range, and genre. You can pick all this stuff here. So a lot of different ways. Oh, and by the way, here, title type, you can choose from all these kinds of projects. We have, from movie to music video, video game, TV series, TV movie. So you can choose from any of these things. Title contains, you can add your own keywords there, filming locations. If you want to just find films that, either are in Los Angeles or somewhere else, different countries, you can pick them here. You can go through the whole list. Languages, any film or project with a specific language you can find here. Any ratings, and then you can kind of hone it or zero it down to things that are announced, development unknown, option property, turnaround. This we won't particularly use because we want to find most likely things that are in this one. We don't need it either because we're not interested in box office values and or awards. So we want to find, for instance, I don't know, movies, right? And you want to, let's say you're interested in scoring an action film, for instance, or an adventure film, or one of these. Let's pick one for the sake of argument. There's so many to choose from here. Oh, look, so many westerns to choose from. Why don't we pick? Oh, wait, no, only 698. So action, there's 7,000. Let's choose an action film. Now, it's going to give you action films that are sorted by the movie meter, high to low. We can also go low to high by title, A to Z, Z to A, and then box office gross, all in those two values. Now, if you're a composer without an agent and you want to find uh, a project to work on and you want to get to know the filmmakers, most likely things like this are going to be out of reach without an agent because they have access to all the gatekeepers and all that information. So if you send an email to the director, Mel Gibson, he, for instance, his talent agent and the publicist and stuff like that, and that is not going to be helpful because the agent is the person you need to reach because that's how it's done in the studio system and that's how it's done in Hollywood. Um, but if you're just starting out, again, you have a few projects on your belt and you want to go to the next level, you might want to start from the bottom up. So start with a low movie meter. You can go down here. Now you can also find movies that are not so low, because it might not have any legs yet because they're trying to find the funding or, the producers, I don't know, aunts who left them $1 million now only left them $300,000 and they have to scramble and find the money somewhere else. So a lot of things will happen around this range. So you could also narrow it down to, I don't know, 500,000 to 400,000 movie meter, whatever. So here's an example. You can do this movie called Live Bet. Look at this action crime. Let's check it out. So you would have, see, this is super early in its beginnings. There's nobody attached. All right, so that probably won't. This is probably a roadblock because, no, not a roadblock, but you want to find at least somebody who's attached and look at their star meter and see if that movie, because usually when films are made, when there's a big star attached or kind of a moderately successful star, then the star meter goes up, and then it helps producers sell the film to either a bigger studio, and then it kind of gets the ball rolling in terms of having the film made, and then attaching a director and so on and so forth. So that's good to know. Look at this RoboDog. That sounds interesting. So there's only one producer attached. So that's really early in the stages. So if you want to score RoboDog, there's that. Um, Space War Project. Look at that. Warner Brothers. Oops. Nope. Yeah, you if you see anything that with giant studios, uh, you know, you could try it. Maybe if there's a director attached, but you never know. But again, it's development unknown, so we have to narrow down the search a bit here. So let's take out here. Where is it? I want to remove these filters here. Take out the status because that will narrow it down. Let's say here and get rid of that. Let's declassify. Let's see that one. So obviously there's this director declassified. This is 2014. So we have to search for something that has not been released yet. So let's find here action, and then you can put down, here it is. In development, in production. So we can let's try in pre-production here. So usually in pre-production, they've picked their director. And what you do is you search for pre-production and then you find, I don't know, this one has a director. You would find the director's name. No one else is attached. This would be probably a good contact to reach out to. You would go to that person's name and then find their info and get in touch. When there's a composer attached, that's already obviously too late. And you just work your way down the list until one of them says yes. All you need is one yes. Now, this is how we do it on IMDb Pro. And that's how I've done it for years. And again, you can choose, that's only one. I chose action. And there's so many films you can choose from that are in pre-production. Look at this. Um, so you would just repeat the same process and then, and you can change the movie meter here, make it even, you know, make it a wider range. You can do 100,000. So if we do 100,000, you get more films, you know, obviously like so, or you can start at the million range and work your way up. So it just depends. Depends on where they're at in their stage of production, how much money will be involved. It's also important to look at the stars that are involved here. So what actors are attached. If it's a higher profile actor, more likely the film will be made. If it's somebody, doing a student film, it might be made, but it's not, it might be um, low budget or whatever. And that's still fine if you're looking for experience. So pretty much that's how IMDb Pro will work. And again, you can choose not only movie, but you can also choose like, I don't know, TV movie, take that out. And the process is the same. TV movies are different sometimes because the producer is more involved. So you would have to reach out to a producer Um, or director still is important. TV series definitely a producer because they're the showrunner. So you can try that. I've had some success in reaching out to showrunners. You wouldn't really reach out to the director. The producer is the person you want to reach out to for TV programs. And there's so many projects, you know. So, and that's how you do it with IMDb Pro. I would suggest doing this, kind of keeping track of projects you want to pursue and people to talk to. I would at least try or aim for 3 days a week of contacting people. It will take a bit of time, so make sure you schedule at least 3 days. You could probably do it in 2 days a week, but 3 days of constant, being on top of it, reaching out to people, seeing how they reply. There are two ways to reach out to them. You can use the phone, pick up the phone, introduce yourself, say hello, mention something nice about their work. Hopefully you'll get a response back that's agreeable. The other way you can do it is email, craft a very simple, straightforward email, nothing too fancy. I wouldn't send links right away because people who aggressively push links on others will probably get discarded. So, sometimes it's nice to ask for permission if I can send you a reel or whatever. Um, but make sure you compliment something they've done because that's important. People like compliments, and make sure you watch one of their films or one of their projects and mention something nice about it. And you'll probably most likely get a higher response if you do something like that. Now, this takes time. It's not going to be overnight. It might take a full year to reach, get a response. But, if you're patient and, there's no rush, all you need is one yes. And then you'll have a project that you can start working on and get to know the filmmaker and build a nice, long-lasting relationship. I did this for a project. I pursued a project for 5 years, actually, because I wanted to score a fantasy film. And it started off with an email from IMDb Pro. I was sending my thousands of emails and even phone calls, but this was an email. And eventually it led to a phone call. And then that phone call led to a meeting at Warner Brothers. And after that, we had lunch at that meeting, got to know each other. We hit it off. And then I was attached to the project, signed the contract, scored the film. We had an orchestra, we had choir, we had live musicians. The director was very adamant about using live musicians. And it's going to be released hopefully this month or next month. So you have to be able to see it through to the very end. Sometimes it takes years, but if you really want to do this, this is one way to do it. Would it have been easier if I had an agent? Yes, of course. But agents are very particular about what they're looking for because they also have to make a living, and they make a living off of a percentage off of your package or your fee, basically. So, making sure that you're getting out there if you don't have an agent is super important. This is one way, one tool you can use. There's so many other ways to do it as well, going to film festivals, meeting filmmakers, film school, post flyers at film schools and stuff like this. But this is how we use IMDb Pro, and everyone in the industry uses it. And why not you, right? So if you have 150 available to use, you know, to become a member of IMDb Pro, why not try it? But again, you have to put in the time and the effort, and the results will eventually be there. All right, well, that's it. I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully, if you've never used IMDb Pro or seen IMDb, this is useful. Please like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, share the video. Hopefully, I will see you at the next one. All right, thanks so much.